Spags mentioned something on when we talked to him just a little bit ago about the fact that you were working off to the side just on your get off. Can you kind of take me through that process and how long that's been? I mean, has that been an emphasis your entire career? Has that been something more recent that you've really tried to hone in on?
No, I've been working on my get off and just doing different stuff like that for my whole career. Really, I kind of picked up the habit back in the day. I had a defensive coordinator in college, Greg Madison, and he kind of coached my position as well. He kind of taught me a lot of things. Just throughout the course of a practice, your hips get locked, your hips get tight from you being on the field working to in between reps and stuff like that. So I do stuff like that just to stay loose. Constantly just training my mind, training my body. That repetitive, muscle memory, just getting off the ball and just staying on top of those things like that.
Let's go next to Adam Teicher. Go ahead, Adam.
Frank.
Oop, try again, Adam.
Yeah, Frank. We good? Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, I got
okay.
you.
I'm wearing this hat just for you today, by the way.
Oh man, I said it's terrible.
You sure looked the other night like you feel better physically than maybe you did all of last season. Is that accurate? Or if you did eventually feel like you do now, was there a point maybe a line where you can draw where, hey, this is where I started to feel this way last year, if that makes any sense?
Yes. Yeah, that's true. I am feeling better. Like I said, our staff here did a great job, and just me coming back in from our off season and just figuring out, getting everything corrected, getting all my correctives and stuff like that in order so that I could start this season off fresher than I did last year. Also, just getting through camp. I started off camp a little sick, but was able to come back, midway point and finish out camp strong and just get my feet under myself. And that was my goal, just to start the season healthier than I had started the past previous years. Man, you say dating back, 3 years ago, it seemed like I started every season with a different injury, whether it was an elbow or, whether it was a neck or whether it was, this or that. It was just something different. And, just to start this season off and, continue to go into the week strong and continue to be out there with my guys. It's dope, man. Seeing the results and, being able to just be out there and compete and, talk my stuff like I do, man.
Let's go next to Harold Kuntz. Go ahead, Harold.
Hey, Frank, a few things for you. Tyrann Mathieu, after the game, said he was, quote, pissed off. You feel the kind of same way about that performance against Houston. Does that help you, especially with the rookies, when you're studying film and getting involved with them? Now that you have something tangible to look at that you can help them, especially a guy like Tershawn Wharton? And also want to get your thoughts on Arrowhead Stadium now officially being a polling place location, and what do you think of that?
Oh, man, it's dope. We encourage everybody to get out there and vote. That's one thing we've been kind of pushing since, pushing the narrative on that since we've been back in the building. And, more than ever now, our each vote counts, but more than ever, it's so important for us to get out there and vote and cast our ballot. But, pissed off, man, that's the that's the word, man, because, you pride yourself on stopping the run, finishing games strong as a defense. And I feel like we stopped the run for the most part. Let a few at the end of the game get away. Deshaun had a few scrambles, as we was rushing the passer when the game was, obviously in our hands. But, it's just finishing games. We give up 2 touchdowns, I believe, in the fourth quarter when the guys we had them held to 7 points at that point. And just finishing the game, finishing drives, not letting them those extended drives where you can get off the field, on the first series, and then you let it extended, and it stands to a touchdown, stuff like that. We had some good signs. No penalties on defense, stuff like that. So it was some good signs out there. It wasn't all bad. It wasn't as bad as I feel like, last year, whereas, you get a team coming here in the Texans and they obviously look way more prepared than us. And it just takes us having to fight and, get it out the mud basically and to claw and scratch for a victory. And always going to be a competitive team. Got a great quarterback over there leading them, Deshaun Watson, the escape wizard of the NFL. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, it's just competition. Competition's at an all-time high right now, and you can see just coming out, playing those guys' first game, you can tell they wanted us.
Go next to Breland Moore. Go ahead, Breland. Breland, you got us? All right, we'll come back to you, Breland. Let's go to Pete Sweeney. Go ahead, Pete.
Frank, I just have a general question for you. We know that you love to rush the passer and stuff the run, but how much pride do you take in your ability to drop back when that is the call?
I'm really a DB in my spare time. I tell my coaches this stuff all the time. Back in the day, I used to play a little bit of DB, so my hips still good. I can still open up. The hips, eyes, hands. That's what you need as a DB. So my coaches, they gave me the verification. Let me know I had everything that checked out, and I got to work on my back pedal. So I'm gonna get with T today after practice. I'm gonna work on my back pedal a little bit and driving out of that. It's all in my offhand jam. I got to work on my offhand jam a little bit. This tight end this week thinks he's going to run some routes on me.
Let's give Breland a try again. Breland, can you hear us now? Uh-oh. All right, Breland's out. We're going to go to Surin. Sorry, Breland.
Frank, I'm just curious, get a player's perspective on this. The NFL released their testing numbers, and it's remarkable how low the positive tests are. I think it was 2 players this week out of all the thousands of tests that have been given, and even the support staff, the numbers are really low. Michigan obviously wasn't going to play football. Big Ten announced they're going to go back on October 24th. You've been through a big-time football program. I think Ed Orgeron said most of his players had tested positive. Why? What do you think is, having lived through that, is the problem with college being so unsuccessful, where you guys in the NFL have been incredibly successful as far as avoiding the virus?
I mean, I feel like the biggest thing is just like any other places, just how you control it after you leave. The controlled environment. You can be put into a place of work where they're doing an excellent job of making sure we're safe, making sure we're socially distanced, and you get outside of that. You go home. You want to go out to eat, go to restaurants. You want to go, do different things like that are still open, that they might not be practicing their social distancing efforts as aggressive at these places. So that's where you fall in line, and you find guys getting into a little bit of of a situation there. Even with us, we've been told, just to kind of, watch out how, where we going out to eat at, because you start to see as people get more relaxed with the COVID stuff, you start to see seats get a little bit closer. You start to see people communicating a little bit more. You start to see masks dropping and stuff when people are around each other. And, that's where it's going to start, and we'll never really be able to get a grasp of it until we all buy in. It's a team effort. Everything in life, doesn't, it's not just football, basketball, and hockey, stuff like that. It involves a team. It's stuff that's going on in our real world that involves a complete team effort as well.
Close it out with Karen Kornacki. Go ahead, Karen.
Frank, I just want to ask you about Tyrod Taylor. Usually you guys are used to seeing Phillip Rivers when you play the Chargers, but now you've got Tyrod, and when you see him with this particular offense, what are some of the things you've been noticing about him?
He's a veteran, so everything that he understands systems, he understands blitzes and schemes, and he's very familiar with of course different players on our team. I know I've played him when I was back in Seattle. I played him a few times when he was in Buffalo. Even now, he's with the Chargers. He's always been known as an elusive quarterback. If you let him get on the run and allow him to get comfortable in the direction in which he likes throwing, he's going to make some completions. He's going to make some big plays. You seen, what was it, last week? You watch on film. You watch from his pass. If you don't do a disciplined job rushing the passer on the edges, containing the passer on the inside, getting inside push up the middle and forcing him to bubble or forcing him to make tough decisions and tough throws over. You want him to force him to make throws over the middle. His strengths is throwing to the outside and really throwing those quick routes and stuff over the middle. So, it's just going to be key for our inside and for our edges, our defensive line as a unit to, keep them contained.
Frank, we really appreciate the time today. Thanks for joining us.
I appreciate you guys.